Channel 24 News, and the Winter Carnival has finally come to an end. After 3 weeks of tough deciding between the judges, the winner has been announced. It's Carter Green from Ashland, Pennsylvania. And in other news, there was a large crash in Northumberland County on Interstate 84. Many people were injured. We're going to go to Tevin Murray on the scene.
This is Tevin Murray here reporting. I'm here with Kelly Dameter. Kelly was just in the recent crash. What do you think of the, what exactly went down? Can you tell us that?
I was driving and I went to stop at a stop sign, and because of the slippery road conditions, I swerved into the other lane and bam, I got nailed by another car. Tevin, it was such a scary experience.
Why exactly were you outside during these slippery weather conditions?
Well, I went to Boyers to get my daughter formula, and I needed to get it for her. I'm sorry. I can't do this.
Sounds like it's getting pretty bad out there, Tevin, and I wish all who were injured in that crash to a speedy recovery. I'm sure that isn't going to be the first crash of the night, because the roads are getting very bad because of all that snow. I highly advise you to stay off the roads and to stay safe. Some people may not know why it is snowing, and I'm here to tell you why. Snow is what forms when water vapor is cooled to below freezing very quickly. The water vapor doesn't get a chance to form into rain droplets, but it forms snow crystals instead. The water vapor never reaches the liquid stage because of its freezing temperatures. This usually happens when a front of cold air meets a front of warm air. I have two diagrams to show you. My first diagram shows of cold front moving in from the west, reaching the warm front in the east. This is going to bring some light snow and some light rain. My second diagram shows the difference between snow, sleet, freezing rain, and regular rain. Here's the diagram of the cold front. As you can see, this blue line right here. This blue line represents the cold front coming in from the west. Right here, we have the warm front. This front is only going to bring some light snow and some light rain here in the green. Nothing too big, maybe a few inches of rain or so. Here is my second diagram. Right here we have the rain. The rain comes out of the clouds, hits the warm air, and then it melts, and then it melts in the rain when it hits the surface. Over here we have freezing rain, which is the crystals fall from the clouds, begin to melt, and then hit the cold air. And then when it hits the ground, it begins to freeze. Over here we have sleet. Sleet comes down, hits the warm air, then it refreezes into sleet, and it travels through the cold air, reaching the ground. Then finally we have snow. Snow falls, hits the warm air, goes through the warm air into the cold air, and it never melts on the way down. It always stays in that solid form and never reaches the liquid state.
And here's a word from our sponsor.
I use Essential every day. Tissues to wipe up my tears after watching sad movies. They work the best because they're most absorbent, and they collect the most snot. Buy yours today.
I don't always play basketball, but when I do, I dunk over the chair.
Circus. I'm here with five-star football recruit Jordan Marlowe. Jordan, you're here to make your decision on who you're going to play college football for? Who's it going to be?
Well, I've been choosing between Alabama, Auburn, and Penn State. Parents want me to go to Penn State, but I'm going to have to go to Auburn. I hate the Tide that much, to play them every year, and I just want to beat them that bad. So, gotta do it.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Jordan Marlowe to the Auburn Tigers. Jordan, you had 3,000 rushing yards, 250 passing yards, and 44 touchdowns, rushing and passing. How do you think you're going to do against the Crimson Tide defense?
I'm going to tear them to shreds, plain and simple.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Great expectations. I don't know what you expect them to do.
I don't always drink green tea, but when I do, I drink it out of the gallon. Stay thirsty, my friends.
And once again, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, Spartan football fans have been cheering all year long. It's time for their final game. But it's going to have to wait a few days after this big storm that just came in. The game has been postponed to Saturday rather than Friday. We're going to go to our meteorologist, Gownley, and see what happened.
I'm back with more of your signs. Sorry, Spartan fans, you're going to have to wait one more day for the big game. The game was canceled due to rain. Why does it rain, you ask? It happens when water vapor becomes warm enough. It evaporates as vapor into the air. When the mass of air quickly cools to its saturation point, the water vapor condenses into clusters, which we know as clouds. Clouds are made up of water droplets and crystals. Over time, the water and the crystals can attract water to themselves, making them grow heavy. As they grow heavy enough, gravity pulls them toward the earth as raindrops. When it hits the ground, it goes through the water cycle. I have a diagram to show you and explain each step of the water cycle. Here is the diagram of the water cycle. Right here, we have the water, and then it gets evaporated into the air as water vapor. Then, through the process of condensation, it is transported, and as the particles get heavier and heavier, the clouds get bigger, and then gravity pulls it down in the raindrops into precipitation. And then the cycle starts all over again.
Thanks, Pat. We're going to go to Tevin Murray now, interviewing Spartan football coach Bobby Grigas at Spartan Stadium. Tevin?
Coach Grigas, what do you think of the weather conditions going on outside?
It was very bad. All it did was rain at practice.
How is your team preparing this week for the big game?
We were putting the ball in mud, and we were trying to get used to it.
How do you think your team will improvise going forward since this game will be canceled tonight?
Use a lot of towels.
And now back to you, Connor Wood.
Thanks, Tevin. And in other news, there's been a 6.7 magnitude earthquake along the San Andreas fault line in San Francisco, California. This is a very groundbreaking event. And in other news, at the Wolf Lodge, we're on a leprechaun hunt. We're gonna find him. We're gonna find him. We're gonna find him.
I'm outside here reporting, looking for this leprechaun running around. I will find it.
Oh, yeah, the microwave potatoes!
Oh no!
Ladies and gentlemen, Hurricane Ari has caused much damage coming up the southeastern coast, but now as it reaches Pennsylvania and New York, it's turning into a blizzard. We're going to go to Pat Gownley with more information.
This is a pretty rare event, Connor. A storm that turns into a blizzard is known as a nor'easter. The recent projections do in fact show that this storm coming up the coast will indeed be a blizzard. Brr. In order for it to be a blizzard, it must have winds up to around 75 miles per hour. If this does in fact become a nor'easter, this could be one of the deadliest storms that we'll face in this century. In order for it to be a nor'easter, the conditions have to be perfect. The warm air from the Atlantic coast will fuel the storm, but for the rain to turn to snow, it must hit a cold front. The latest predictions say that the hurricane will be arriving just before the front, only giving us a few inches of snow, maybe around 2 or 3, not the projected 2 feet of snow. Here are the 2 latest models of the storm. Here are the 2 most recent models of the storm coming up the coast. This is the GFS model, and over here we have the NAM model, the North American model. The GFS model is showing the storm coming just off the coast of New Jersey, not giving any snow into Pennsylvania. But over here in the North American model, we're getting some light snow, Schuylkill and northern Lebanon County. They might be getting a few inches of snow over there.
I don't always drive, but when I do, I buckle up. Stay safe, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just heard information from the Susquehanna newsroom. The Susquehanna River has flooded after the recent rainstorm. Thousands of people are forced to be evacuated, and the Red Cross is going to help.
Did you know that the last time the Susquehanna River flooded was over 20 years ago? Since then, new levees were built to prevent this devastating event from happening again. But yesterday night into this morning, the water started pouring out over the levee into the streets of Susquehanna. This was due to a record 36 inches of rain over a 24-hour period. When rain like that comes quickly, it overwhelms all of our natural drainage systems. Because of all the water and the rain in the streets of Susquehanna, it's going to take some time for the water to recede. One of our viewers in the Susquehanna area has sent in a picture of what the roads are like currently. Here's our picture sent in by Dave Matthews. Thank you, Dave.
Harlem Shake.